Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some seriously powerful advice from none other than Denzel Washington. We're going to break down his incredible speech about taking risks, dealing with failure, and what it really means to succeed.
Okay, let's start with the big one. The idea that pretty much holds this whole thing together. He says that taking risks isn't just something you do for excitement, it's absolutely essential if you want a life that actually means something. It's a total challenge to that little voice in our heads that tells us to just play it safe.
So, if we're going to take these risks, how exactly should we do it? Well, this first big idea completely flips a classic piece of advice on its head. You know, the one about always having something to fall back on? And this is where it gets really interesting. See, falling back is all about having a safety net. It's about retreating, settling for what's safe. But falling forward? That's all about momentum. Even when you fail, you're still moving ahead. You're learning something, you're seeing what you're made of, instead of just running away from the challenge.
This right here changes how you should think about failure. Denzel's point is that if you're really pushing your limits, failure isn't just possible, it's pretty much guaranteed. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. It's not a sign of weakness, it's more like a badge of honor. It means you're actually in the game.
And he proves it with a story from his own life. Way back, early in his career, he auditioned for a role in a Broadway musical. It was a perfect fit, except for one tiny detail. He couldn't sing. So naturally, he failed the audition. But what he did next is the whole point. He didn't just give up.
And here is the amazing payoff. 30 later, he's back on Broadway, starring in a play, and it's in the exact same theater where he failed that audition. That persistence, that idea of just getting ready for the next thing, brought him full circle. The scene of his failure became the scene of his triumph.
Okay, so having the courage to fail is huge, but it's really just step one. All that courage needs a direction. It needs a plan, which brings us to our next big point. I mean, how simple and powerful is that? This is the real difference between just wishing for something and actually doing it. A dream can be a nice little fantasy you have, but a goal is a dream that you've decided to chase with actual steps and a strategy. It's how you make it real. To really get this, think about the baseball legend Reggie Jackson. The guy holds the all-time record for the most strikeouts in baseball history. We're talking over 2,600 times. That's an incredible amount of failure. But is that what anyone remembers him for?
Or how about Thomas Edison? Before he finally got the light bulb to work, he went through about 1,000 failed experiments. Think about that. 1,000 times, he just figured out another way not to make a light bulb.
And that is the whole point, isn't it? We don't remember Reggie Jackson for the strikeouts. We remember him for the home runs. We don't care about Edison's 1,000 failed attempts. We just care about the one that worked. Every single failure was just a necessary step on the way to that one success that changed everything.
So chasing these goals with everything you've got leads to an even deeper question. It moves beyond just what you can accomplish for yourself and asks, what's your real contribution going to be?
The whole focus shifts from what can I get to what can I give? And your gifts, well, they're unique to you. Sure, it could be your time or a special talent you have or your money, but it can also be your patience, your kindness, your love. So the question is, what are you going to do with the gifts you have?
Now, to really make this hit home, Denzel gives us this haunting mental image. Just picture it for a second. You're at the end of your life, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of all the ideas you never pursued, all the talents you never used, and they're disappointed because you were the only person who could have brought them to life. And that's the real challenge, right there. It changes the goal of life from just being successful to having a responsibility to use what you've got. It's all about your legacy. Did you leave it all on the field, or are you going to have a crowd of ghosts around your bed? All right, last big point, and this one is so important to remember. This whole journey of taking risks and chasing goals and giving your gifts, it is never, ever going to be a straight line. I mean, just look at his own story. He starts college in pre-med, admits he couldn't even pronounce the names of his classes, so he switches to pre-law, then journalism. His GPA drops to a 1.8. He literally had to take time off. This was his low point, and it's proof that even the most successful people have messy, winding paths to get where they're going. And then, when he was at that absolute low point, not in some fancy classroom or audition, but working in his mom's beauty shop, something pivotal happened. An older woman in the community saw something in him that maybe he couldn't even see in himself. This is what she told him. Can you imagine hearing that at that moment? It must have sounded completely crazy, but it planted a seed. It just goes to show you your purpose can show up in the strangest places, through the people you meet and the chances you're willing to take.
And that brings us all the way back to the beginning. It all comes down to this simple but incredibly powerful idea. Don't be scared to fail. Failure is just part of the deal. So take those chances, chase down your goals, give your gifts, and when you stumble, and trust me, you will stumble, don't fall back to where it's safe. Always, always fall forward.